Hi, I'm Phylum, welcome to the show. Today I'm watching some games from an Australian duel tournament just in one of the Diabotical stress test weekends. Here we've got Crib versus Sky. These guys are good, but they're not like the top level players, you know, they're not really going to be beating your Dandikings, your Steeges, your Freezers. That said, Sky did beat Dandiking in a tournament recently. I don't know if it was Dandiking's best form, but you know, Sky, he's really up there. He's a really smart player, has some really sick aim. And Crib, he's not as experienced at duel, or not as experienced at duel recently. He has really amazing aim though, so what I'm going to really expect from this match is Crib hitting lots of shots, and Sky also hitting a lot of shots, but, you know, kind of having to play a slightly smarter game and trying to overcome Crib's aim. Alright, so we're going with Sky off of the spawn with the furiously vibrating machine gun. I really like the spawns on the Mega side of this map. You get a lot, right, just with that Mega and that yellow. You know, obviously each player wants the weapon on the other side of the map. Sky's going to be thinking about getting a pincer, Crib's going to be thinking about getting a shaft, and Sky is really committing to this trap here at the shaft. He just wants to catch Crib off guard and get the opening damage, and well, he doesn't really get it. So the players are just going to trade guns. Crib, honestly, I don't think it's really worth coming to pressure this from this angle. He's hit great aim, and actually absolutely made it worthwhile. I think there's a lot of risk there that Sky just, you know, kind of gets away with the moon. But look, let's just watch Crib. And as I swap over to him, of course, he has just taken the worst possible rocket. So, you know, I can barely finish a thought here. And Sky is hitting some sick aim. So, you know, hopefully we're not going to swap point of view like too wildly here. But Sky has just won himself full control with an amazingly sick prediction rocket, just as it looked like he was down and out, right? And yeah, Sky's rockets across the board are something that really are going to, you know, not only keep him in games, but put him ahead in games. As he is just making sure he's secured this Mega Room. Yellow armor's going to be up. Sky won't be able to take it without taking a little bit of damage. I like that he's sticking his head out towards the red armor side. You know, where is Crib? What's he taking? This is a nice bit of spam. This is a perfect bit of spam. I spoke too soon there. But so Sky gets over, you know, he is so comfortable about taking this Mega Health. He's in no rush to do it. And I love it, right? When you have your item secure, when you have your item won, it's a great time to peek out and look for shots because, well, your opponent's probably going to be moving around the map if they think you're just going to be standing on that Mega collecting it. So Sky, dominant position on this item. Crib probably shouldn't be here. And look, Crib goes for a big Weeble play. I like it, but he just fires it off a little bit too soon, right? Sky wasn't actually in that doorway. So nice shot, but he's going to die here. Oh no, actually slips away. I thought he was a little bit lower, but surely, like, this first frag has to be coming for Sky. He's playing so smart around this. Again, like, leaving that Mega to hunt for a frag, really important to know how to strategically leave items up to secure these frags, because at the end of the day, if you're not getting frags on the board, you're not going to win the game. Is that one of those casterisms? You know, those things people say that just are, like, too obvious? Anyway, Sky gets his first frag on the board. Crib wants to... I don't hate the idea of rushing through off of those spawns. I'm not sure if he picked up the yellow armor, I didn't quite catch it. But you can get away with a lot. Now Sky's seen that pincer's down and the shaft's down. He knows the route that Crib has just taken around the map. And Sky's getting pretty weak. He's got a red armor there. That's fine. He can give up this room. He can come in and look for a shot. And Mega's actually up. Now, that's probably a little bit of a blunder for Crib. He might have had time to get it and drop away. It's a little bit dicey. Like... He may not have had time to securely sit on it, but it definitely feels like he didn't really know the time there. But he was quite weak as well. And at the end of the day, you know, it isn't worth taking a Mega Health if you just die. So, interesting situation. Crib with the Weeble play again. Sky just says, well, you know, throw all the Weebles you want. He walks forward as to not get caught in it. And again, like, I'm loving the maturity from Sky here. He really looks like he just has the control under control. As well as, you know, just having a great sense of where Crib's going to be and what damage he can get away with. Now, Crib can't jump for the Mega here. Neither can Sky, really. Or Crib, he commits in a major way, and he's going to have basically no health left after that. So Sky, after denying this armor, after trying to dive into Crib's face, yeah, Crib might be able to get around and stack some health back up. He might have a yellow armor for him. Actually, it gets really cheeky there. I don't know if I love going back for that shot, but it will put him in the driving seat until Sky hits that rail in return. This yellow armor's not really going to do much for Crib at all there after taking that rail. Or pincer even. I'm going to try really hard to call it the pincer. Again, lovely Weeble use for Crib. And I think it really shows that Crib has put a lot of time into Diabotical specifically recently, whereas Sky has been a bit more focused on, you know, just like being the best Quake Live jeweler he can be. Crib, yeah, he definitely has adapted really well to lots of the little quirks of the game. And I think that's really great to see, and I think some of his Weeble play so far is going to be stuff we're going to see from more and more players, you know, as we actually get more than a weekend with this game at a time and learn about it. So again, we're in this situation, Crib back in this position. I think he should have learnt his lesson from last time that jumping for this Mega is going to probably do more harm than good. And yeah, he's going to try and slip away. I like that jump across for Sky. Like, if you really hug that wall, it's very, very hard for your opponent to hit a shot. And so Sky, you know, extending his lead here, shortening that game clock just a little bit more. And again, I love how confident he is about these items. Like, he knows what is possible for Crib to do off of these spawns. Crib, rockets are good for this position. Sky needs to be careful he doesn't give too much away, especially Crib having that yellow armor. You know, he kind of has surprisingly a surprisingly high amount of armor in this fight, but that's a beautiful little rocket for Sky, and Crib not quick enough to realize to back away. Gonna basically be a sitting duck at the end of that fight there. Mega's gonna go over for free, and I'm pretty sure Sky has time to get around onto this red. Maybe not. Actually, Crib steals it away. I keep forgetting I can like look at the player's stacks on the HUD. I'm used to guessing, and it looks like Sky maybe doesn't realize that Crib got that armor, so a slight mistake there from Sky actually gives Crib time to position on that teleporter. And that is massive, right? So if you lose time, and yeah, you can see Sky looking at that armor again, he really has no idea. So Crib right now, he's taken a lot of damage, but he's gotten himself on the board, and what's really important is that he's reset, well, he's almost reset the weapons of Sky. Did Sky get a shaft off of that spawn? I don't know. That was weird. Crib doesn't get the damage before Sky gets to that teleporter, and that means Sky's at a huge advantage in this fight, and I honestly love how confident he is rushing through that teleporter. If he takes a rocket, he ends up in a bad place, but if you take a rocket, you're probably not going to end up, like, it's going to kill your momentum and you're not going to get through the teleporter, but maybe a little bit overconfident here. Sky somehow clutches that out. Crib hits all the right shots, and I think one of the problems Crib is having here is that he can get a lot of damage, but he's not really able to get damage for free, right? In all these situations he's getting damage, he's actually committing to fights and trying to really get these frags on the board. He hasn't been taking a lot of situations, like even here, sure he hits the rail and he's able to play, you know, kind of like a cheeky game. Maybe against some players he would actually get that frag, but against Sky, well, Sky is just too good to give a frag away in that situation, and Crib has nowhere to go, right? Even a situation like this, sure, there's a chance that Crib hits really good shots, but if things turn bad for him, he's just stuck here. Now in this situation it has worked, and we're going to get a chance to see Crib, you know, dominate the map, and I really want to see how Sky's going to approach this out of control. But we will watch, well, okay, so look, I'm swapping back and forward. Just as quickly as it looks like Crib has control, Sky just knows exactly where to put these rockets to punish Crib's entrances. And this is the kind of thing that Crib hasn't been able to do in return, right? So Crib, he's going to get Mega. Sky has this phenomenal exit damage. It actually goes in, and I'm sure Crib didn't expect that, right? But Crib gets stuck against a wall. He can't back away. Sky has a pretty easy time, frankly, just landing the perfect rockets. And this game is starting to feel pretty one-sided a lot of the time, right? Like, Crib's had two really big moments of control, or moments where he could grab control, and both times Sky's pretty much just had a perfect rocket at his feet, and Sky is just terrifying, right? Beautiful movement here. Again, he's just avoiding damage so effectively. Excellent catch on the Mega, and he can continue to punish here. Yellow armor's up. Blue armor might even be up for him on his way into this red. And yeah, into golden frag here. Crib, he's on the armor. Having collected that red, stuck in a really awkward corner of the map. And Sky, you know, there's no like pressure to get this frag right now. Crib wants to push in for the fight. A railgun will finish it. Oh, that is tight. Crib does well to back away. You know, if he eats a shot there, it's game over, right? No risk is worth it, and he's stuck. He has no idea that Sky is on that side of him, and I mean, look at the damage difference there, right? So much of that damage for Sky was damage that it really felt like Crib was having a hard time, like, well, all of the damage that Crib did, Sky was able to return damage. Sky was able to get a lot of damage that Crib couldn't return. I guess that's what I'm trying to say there. So, yeah, really, really well played by Sky. That honestly looked terrifying, right? Control your opponent and be really confident in control and be able to hunt, you know, even when items are up, know where your opponent's going to be well enough that you can actually hunt for frags and hunt for damage, just like leaving Mega up for like 20 seconds. It's fine. And then likewise, once Crib had control, Sky was able to just punish his entrances into rooms so effectively that, well, Crib didn't have control for very long. So that's Sky one map up in this set. We're coming over to Frontier, which I'm pretty sure is Crib's pick, right? Skybreak, it feels very much like a Sky map. You know, it's in the name. This map, I don't know, I have a lot of mixed feelings about Frontier. I think the more I play it, the more I like it. And look, I'm not even going to get a chance to talk about this here, we're just going to go straight into the game. And I'll talk about it as we go. So Crib, red armor, rocket launcher, he's going to get pincer as well. This is pretty good. Like, the pincer is going to be Crib's happy place on this map, I think. You know, if Sky's taking lots of pincer trades, that is somewhere that Crib can actually pull out an advantage, and we're seeing Crib really heavily committing to the trap on this weapon. Pretty much the inverse of what we saw last map. So, that's a bit awkward. I'm pretty sure Sky doesn't pick up a pincer, and Crib would do well to keep his distance here and just try and hit shots. And actually he's a little bit too close, and that means that Sky's able to wear away a lot of his HP. Right? That's going to be a big problem for Crib right now, because this Mega's up, and Crib cannot fight for it. So, let's see how Crib's going to approach this. I mean, this armor's up, but he shouldn't drop for it, because Sky just has far too easy of a time trapping it. Crib, he has to use his slow field Weeble to really confidently get out of that situation, and actually, good timing of the 50 HP bubble here. You don't really like explicitly time it, you're not like counting, you're not counting it on the clock, but, well, having awareness of when it is means that, yeah, you actually know when to back away to it. It's good to see. But anyway, we could watch Crib run around on 20 HP all day. Let's swap over to Sky here and see how he's going to approach playing this map in control. Alright, trade across mid, and Crib, I think, is wise there to let that let that Mega Health go and just think about setting up towards the red armor. But again, he has no stack, he has to back away once any damage comes out, and he's putting himself in a fairly awkward corridor there, right? Where again, it's like, if things go really badly there, what's the backup plan? So, red armor's going to be up. I don't think Crib collected it, right? I think he's just got the yellow on the back of the map. Oh, and Sky actually is going to mess up his movement. It's going to make him a lot slower over to this item. And that, yeah, that red's just been sitting up for a while. Crib looking for the spam angles towards it. It feels like Crib should be able to back away to Mega, and he does. And I really like this idea for Sky, but he's coming in from a pretty risky position. Crib just has the high ground, and, you know, in a rocket-dominated room, the high ground's going to go a long way. So Sky walks away with more armor, and he should be able to potentially rotate onto this red, right? Is Crib, he should be around somewhere. Probably in this corridor. Yeah. So Crib puts himself in a situation where if he doesn't hit a rail, Sky's going to just get away with that for free and be in a really dominant position for the Mega, right? So Crib, I think, either needed to commit stronger to the red or commit stronger to the exit of the red, right? Rather than just having an all or nothing one railgun shot, because if you miss that rail, even if he hits that rail, honestly, Sky's going to rotate into a position where Sky is better positioned for the Mega. So Crib playing the item, but not the longer term duel, right? That's really what I think we're seeing in a lot of these fights. Sky doesn't even want to pick up the slow field Weeble, right? He doesn't need it. And again, these fights at this range, right, Sky with a big stack advantage is going to come out ahead pretty much every single time. Sky has a Mega to stack him back up, and hopefully some armor, right? He's really desperate for some armor right now, and he's got to be careful how he moves across the map, because Crib almost certainly has that pincer, right? We can see, because Crib has the red armor, you know, he definitely has the pincer, but Sky just able to infer that from, well, where Sky is on the map and what he did, or more importantly, didn't hear. Sky looking to get some opening damage so that Crib can't comfortably control the position onto Mega, and Sky, it looks like he's actually just going to play for this red, right? Completely concede Mega and just play for red, and Crib is going to get some really nice damage in that corridor. I like the dive from Sky, honestly. It means that, well, he actually somehow survives that as well, but he gets Crib really, really weak. So even if Sky did die there, it would mean that off of the respawn, Sky could just get one gun and have a pretty good advantage, and, you know, if he played his cards right, make sure that he was back in the driving seat of the map. This way we're seeing a bit more split control. I do like that Crib's able to consolidate his armors here. And now again, like, so much of this map is going to be listening around the middle of the map and getting opening damage so that you can control the area that Crib is right now before this Mega comes up. It can be kind of awkward to take close range fights there, and Crib should not have let Sky sneak onto that. Again, like, when an item's coming up and your opponent, you know, maybe has a bit of armor, you've gotta, like, it's hard because it's swinging into that corridor, you open yourself up to eating a spam rocket, right? So Sky uses that really well and just gets really cheeky. I think it's really clever. Now this pressure's great. Sky can't try and close out the frag because, well, one rail, I'm pretty sure would have finished him there. Crib's gonna come and look for a shot towards red. And actually even control the red. And so right now he's got to be thinking, where is Sky? Crib 50 HP, it doesn't put him in a very comfortable position. And he would love a sound, yep. So he hears Sky down there and knows that he can't go that way. He's thinking exit damage for this Mega right now. Like, how can he catch Sky leaving the item? I like that position for Crib. Good potential to get a rocket and drop away, but Sky has the sneakiest angles, and we're just gonna, like, Sky's gonna clean this frag up. Let's watch him do it. Crib sneaks onto the red while this is happening, and that's really good. But Sky, he's got an armor here. He could actually potentially get the other armor as well, right? The other blue armor. I'm pretty sure it's up right now over at Rocket. And actually, he's just gonna play for the frag. As you should when you are in a tied game. I like it. He thinks about that armor, but he says, no, red is more important right now. Crib almost certainly going to be able to collect an armor to his name, and he'll have a rocket launcher, so there's some potential to get cheeky in the middle of the map, but overall, Sky should be dominating here. Crib tries to play the cheeky game that Sky played against him, but Sky, the shots are too good, and for the third fight this game, Crib either dies or, you know, just kind of like marginally misses out on a mega health. You've got to be hating life if you're Crib right now. Sky, this is a delay, right? This is deliberately offsetting the red from the Mega. Because if he'd have picked up red right as it came up, it pretty much would have synced with Mega, so this way he's got a little bit of time between them. It's a nice classy little touch to your game, right? It's something, it's actually quite easy to do, but it's very hard to realize you can do in the heat of the moment. But Sky, you know, down in this position, again, like, how is Crib going to get onto Mega? If he drops, Sky's going to pin him with LG. Sky is just there first, and you get so much on this map just by getting to a good position first. Sky needs to get this red during this fight to have any chance of winning it. Crib's doing a good job with his rockets. If he hits another pincer, he'd be in a good spot to, like, back away and maybe try and position himself early onto Mega. But it looks like Sky, he's actually going to come back around for this red. And I like this a lot. So Crib, ooh, actually coming in for the red as well, and actually going to just hit the shots in the moment there. So this is the scary thing about Crib, right? Like, he is going to just be able to hit shots in a row, but Sky, with the rockets, with the red, he has everything he needs to win that fight. There's a beautiful mega health here for him. That is a bad time for Crib to die, right? Because sometimes in a game like Diabotical, you know, you do die at a bad time where your opponent's able to, like, your opponent just ends up in a good spot. Or I guess I should say it was a bad time for Crib to get a frag, right? Like, Sky respawning onto that red just meant way more than that one frag that Crib got. And now he's just stomping, right? This looks like, again, we're going to see a game end in about 9 minutes, probably. That would be my guess. Crib fights his way onto the Mega. Sky, can he get a little bit of exit damage? Yes, he can. Crib does not have a pincer to take this fight back, so Sky can pretty comfortably just stand around and say, yep, spam his shots. At the very least, he's wasting time that Crib can't be making a comeback in. And again, Sky's going to be delaying this red. Able to swing out and make a shot as Crib goes for pincer. That means that this fight is so much easier for him to take, right? If Sky hadn't have hit that shot, swinging around into Crib, you know, in that kind of range would be an absolute disaster potentially. But now Sky just has such an advantage, and he's here again, winning this position onto Mega early, able to fall back onto it. This is just classy play from Sky all around. And look, he has time to get over here. Crib, he might be thinking about this red. There he is down below. Sky, he's got to clean this one up. I do like that Crib actually wastes a lot of Sky's time there. And that's a really important skill in Quake, and I try and talk about this a lot in my videos. Like, sometimes, even if you're pinned, even if you're just gonna die, just waste as much of your opponent's time as possible, because that's time when stuff can respawn on the map, and, you know, extra chances for you to get damage. And I love how prepared Sky is for where Crib's going here, even reading out the move onto the pincer. This red armor should be won by Crib. He's in a good position. He's got the right gun out. This is nice. Oh, but the damage from Sky is incredible. And caught on the respawn, Sky has a blue armor to fall back onto. Beautiful. A much closer game, right? Like, Crib had a lot more up his sleeve there and did really well. I definitely rate Crib a lot more on Frontier, and I think it plays a lot more to Crib's strengths than Skybreak. But just phenomenal games from Sky there. Really well played. I know Crib kind of mentioned that he wanted me to like give some feedback about this game, so I would definitely say, especially on Skybreak, think about damage where you can back away, where you can like take something and get away and just have an advantage, rather than always pushing for the frag. So, thank you so much for watching. These have been some Australian players, not necessarily at the top. Hopefully it was interesting to talk about maybe some like flaws in their game a bit. I've been Phylum, and I'll see you next time.